Cicero de Finibus Bonorum et Malorum, Book 3, Episode 6. Itaque quamquam in eo sermone, qui cum torquato est habitus, non remissi fuimus, tamen haec acrior est, cum stoicis parata contentio. The previous sentence was very long and complicated as compared to this one, which is syntactically simpler and obviously much shorter. This illustrates an important point about Cicero's style, namely that sentence length and complexity, length as measured by number of syllables and complexity by subordination, this style follows almost a perfect sine curve or sine wave modulation. This means that the next sentence following this one ought to be shorter as we approach the bottom or the trough of the curve. Now for the meaning. And so, or therefore, quamquam, although. Quamquam is the subordinate clause, which will end in fuimus. Quamquam fuimus, the main clause is introduced by tamen, this conjunction, the verb of which is est. And so, although in that speech, in that conversation, in eo sermone, qui fuimus, which we held, est habitus, or which was held, with Torquatus, although in that conversation, non remissi fuimus. We can show some of these levels of subordination by using different colors. Qui takes us through habitus. The main clause, again, as I've said, is est, introduced by tamen. We have more subordination in that the quamquam clause, like so, continues through fuimus, with this qui clause nested inside it. And so, although in that conversation, in eo sermone, the antecedent of qui is sermone, so it is masculine singular and nominative, as sermo is masculine and singular, that conversation which was held, est habitus, with Torquatus, cum Torquato is an ablativus sociativus, that is an ablative of accompaniment. Torquato is masculine singular and ablative. He was the Epicurean spokesman in Book 2, which was held with Torquatus, although non remissi fuimus, although I was not falling down on the job, I was not remiss or negligent. Remissi, masculine, plural, nominative, subject of fuimus, which is a perfect indicative. Although that is the case, nevertheless, now we come to the main clause, haec acrior contentio est. So this one is more keen, it's more pointed, more focused. Acrior is a comparative adjective from acer, acris, acre, which is a third declension adjective of three endings, one for the masculine, a second for the feminine, a third for the neuter. This one is feminine because it's modifying contentio. Contentio is feminine singular and nominative. It's a third declension abstract noun. Contentio has another modifier, namely parata, which is from paro, parare, a first conjugation verb. This is the fourth principal part, paratus aum. Nevertheless, this one is more pointed. This one is more keen. This contentio, this discussion or contest or conflict, which has been prepared for us or set out, parata, with the Stoics, this one is more pointed, acrior. If we untangle the syntax, here's what we have. We have contentio, subject, the contentio cum stoicis, est, acrior. And then, of course, we have parata, the one that has been parata cum stoicis. Notice the parallelism between the subordinate clause and the main clause. The subordinate clause is quam through fuimus, within which we have cum Torquato est habitus, ablative of accompaniment, just like cum stoicis, ablative of accompaniment, followed by a participle in the perfect and passive, followed by a participle in the perfect and passive. But the symmetry is interrupted somewhat because the qui clause is subordinate, whereas the tamen clause is the main clause. Note also the contrast between sermone and contentio. This is masculine ablative, this is feminine nominative. These words are quite similar in meaning, but Cicero has separated them at a great distance. It's a sermone cum Torquato, it's a contentio cum stoicis. The founder of the Stoic school was Zeno, who was from the city of Citium or Kition on the island of Cyprus. He moved from there to Athens, where he founded the Stoa.